Okay, let's dive right in. We're all trying to navigate this chaotic new world where AI systems are the new gatekeepers of, well, everything. So for any brand to survive, let alone thrive, it needs a totally new blueprint for visibility. And today, we're breaking down that blueprint, something called Entity-Centric Architecture.
Wow, what a way to kick things off, right? But that quote just perfectly captures the state of most information online today. It really is a mess, just tangled wires and dead ends. A total digital chaos that machines are now being forced to somehow navigate.
And look, this isn't just about being tidy. When an AI can't make sense of your digital footprint, it doesn't just get confused, it might just ignore you completely. This disorganization, it's a direct threat to your brand's very survival in this new age.
All right, so let's dig into that. Let's get specific and really look at the problem head-on. What exactly is this digital chaos we're all talking about?
Okay, so picture this. An LLM is trying to learn about your company. It's kind of like sending it into a giant, messy attic that hasn't been cleaned in decades. It's filled with unlabeled boxes, old notes that contradict each other, things that look the same but are totally different. It's just a nightmare of unstructured, duplicated, and really ambiguous data.
So you've really got to ask yourself, in that messy attic, when an AI comes looking, can it find the real you? Or is your brand's core identity just becoming part of the noise, lost somewhere in all that clutter?
Okay, enough of the problem, enough of the doom and gloom. Let's talk about the solution. Because there is a way to clean up that attic and build something clear, something coherent. It's called Entity-Centric Architecture.
I know. Canonical nodes and persistent identifiers, that sounds super technical. But stick with me. The idea is actually pretty simple. You treat every important concept, your company, your CEO, your key products, as a unique official thing. Then you give each of those things a permanent, stable address online, usually its own web page or URL. That address becomes its unchangeable ID. Simple as that.
And this slide just lays it out perfectly, doesn't it? The old way was just stuffing that attic with more and more keywords, more marketing fluff, and just hoping something would stick. The new way? It's about becoming the obsessive organizer of your information. Every box is labeled, everything has a specific address, and all the junk, all the duplicates, they get tossed out.
Here's another way to think about it that I really love. If the old way was a sprawling, chaotic city with no street signs, ECA is proper urban planning, right? Every building has a unique address. The roads, the relationships between all your ideas are clearly mapped out. Mail gets delivered to the right house every single time because there's just no confusion.
Now, to really get this, we've got to wrap our heads around a huge shift in thinking. It's a fundamental move away from the language we all know, keywords, and toward the logic of something new, entities.
This is just perfect. Keywords are basically rumors. The same word can mean a dozen different things depending on the context. You're just throwing it out there and hoping the AI guesses what you mean. It's imprecise, it's unreliable, and it changes with every new trend. An entity, though, an entity is like a passport. It is a unique, official, verifiable document of who you are. It doesn't matter who's looking at it or in what country, a passport definitively says, "This is me." There's no guesswork involved.
So what's the big takeaway here? We are moving from a world where we hoped machines guess our meaning to a world where we provide them with undeniable proof. We're shifting from a chaotic barter system of keywords to a universal currency of trust, where every single entity has a clear, agreed-upon value.
And let me be clear, this isn't just some academic debate or a minor tech upgrade. The stakes here could not be higher. It's really a choice between long-term visibility and potential digital erasure. Seriously, if you ignore this, your brand's authority gets splintered into 1,000 pieces online. An AI sees 10 different versions of your product and just can't figure out which one is the real one. So over time, LLMs simply start overlooking you in favor of sources that are clearer. And that is how you get digitally erased. Not because you failed, but because you were just incoherent to the machines that are now writing our history. But here's the good news. This isn't some fuzzy concept you just have to hope is working. You can actually measure your success. You can track something called citation frequency. Basically, how often are AIs actually pointing to your official information as a trusted source? You can measure identifier resolution to make sure your unique addresses are working correctly everywhere. And you can literally count the duplicate reduction to see a real drop in those confusing, conflicting records out there. It's all about achieving stability and retrievability you can see.
All right, I get it. This sounds huge, maybe a little intimidating. But where do you even begin? Let's break down the very first steps you can take to build this kind of clarity for yourself.
Here's your game plan in 3 steps. First, define your entities. Just make a list of your core concepts, products, people, key terms, and give each one a permanent URL as its unique ID. Simple. Second, establish governance. Put someone in charge of this system. Their job is to prevent new duplicates from popping up. And third, expand outward. Once your own house is in order, start connecting your entities to external knowledge graphs. Think of these like global address books for facts, like Wikidata. This tells the whole world, yep, this is us, and we are the official source.
So just remember what you're really doing here. This work, it's not just digital housekeeping. It's a strategic act. You are building a fortress, a solid, dependable structure of truth and clarity that can actually withstand that chaotic swamp of digital noise all around it.
And that really brings us to the final critical question you need to answer for yourself. As we move deeper and deeper into this age of AI, you have a fundamental choice to make. Is your brand's identity going to be defined by the fleeting, unreliable gossip of keywords? Or are you going to build it on the solid foundation of a permanent, verifiable, and universally recognized passport? The choice really is yours.